So with that, it's my honor to share with you the 5th annual winners. And it goes to the ALS Residence Initiative, to Steve Sailing and Barry Berman. And you guys can come and start to come up while I say a few words. So really, on behalf of the Gupta family and the Healy Center, NEALS, we're really excited to give this award to you this year. It's a $40,000 prize to the ALS Residence Initiative team, led by Steve Sailing and Barry Berman. There was really Steve's motto and quote is that until medicine proves otherwise, technology is the cure. I just want to read some words from the nominator. Steve's vision was to build a place where people with ALS could live not just safely, but meaningfully with autonomy, choice, and real quality of life. The residence features private suites, a deli and cafe, technology to help people live and thrive. And it's an amazing space, the first one of its kind, and now really a model. The impact of his work can be measured in the lives transformed. This initiative, which he co-founded, is now expanding to other cities, bringing really this transformational approach to more people across the country. And I think I'm going to go Steve and Mary are going to say a few words.
So my name is Barry Berman. I'm the CEO of Chelsea Jewish Lifecare, a title I've had for 48 years. And before I say anything, I would like to just take a moment to honor the incredible staff from our organization that brought Steve on a ventilator from Boston here for a few days. If they could just stand for one moment, because they are the most incredible caregivers that anyone could ever have. You know, it was really divine intervention that I met Steve about 18 years ago, because our organization never had any connection to ALS, and I personally had no connection to ALS. And we were at a conference, and Steve was at the same ALS conference, because we were just learning. We were going to be building a new concept in care. And we met Steve, who's an architect, and I talked to him at the break, and I could see the pain in his face as to not wanting to end up in a nursing home. So I had a nice conversation with him, and this is really how the conversation went. I said, Steve, what do you really need for your future? And Steve said, we need a vent-ready home for 10 pals with private rooms, private baths and showers, and a bidet. So we got that. Then Steve said we need a house to be Medicare and Medicaid certified so pals can live free of charge. We did that. Then Steve said we need a house to be fully automated so anything with an on and off switch can be controlled by eye movement only, to include the shades, the lights, the temperature, the elevators, the doors, the call system, and anything else with an on and off switch. So we did that. Steve said we need suction and oxygen in the wall, but it has to be discreetly disguised. So we did that. Steve said we need to have a respiratory therapist and a registered nurse 24/7 in each house. So we have that. Steve said we need to have IT support for our communication devices, so we have that. Steve said we need vans, buses that are handicapped accessible to take us to our kids' graduations, sporting events, weddings, concerts, ball games, and any place else we want to go. So we have that. Finally, I said to Steve, you do know this is going to take millions of dollars to accomplish, and we have that too. At the end of the day, Steve and the other 38 pals are finally home.
I am honored and humbled to receive this award. Thank you. This Monday, on October 13th, it will be 19 years since my diagnosis. I was 38 years old at the time. Somehow, I intuitively knew that, with the help of technology, I could survive ALS. I did a lot of research, including meeting other long-time survivors, and it wasn't the creeping paralysis that scared me. It wasn't the ventilator, or even losing the ability to speak, that really scared me. What really terrified me was the horrible state of the long-term care options available to single guys like me. I met friends with ALS, like Ron Miller, Patrick O'Brien, and Mike Vollmer, who were living in treacherous chronic hospitals far from friends and family, because there are so few places that provide vent care. It was only 6 months after diagnosis, and my number one priority was discovering a better option for my long-term care. That is when I met Barry Berman. He wanted to do something that had never been done before. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was looking for something that had never been done before. There was instant chemistry between us, and we quickly became partners with a goal to create a fully automated, vent-ready, skilled service residence specifically for people with ALS. In time, I would realize how fortunate I was to meet Barry. Here was a guy with no connection to ALS, who just wanted to push the limits of what is possible. His professional colleagues mocked him, and told him he was destined to fail. Barry Berman risked his professional reputation to prove that the ALS Residences could succeed. This award helps vindicate our vision that ALS does not have to be fatal anymore. My story isn't over yet. The Steve Sailing ALS Residence opened on March 11, 2010, and Barry and I co-founded the ALS Residence initiative to try to inspire others to follow our example. There is a national organization of non-profit nursing homes called Leading Age. The Leonard Florence Center for Living, LFCL, is also a groundbreaking example of a residential-styled nursing home called the Greenhouse Model. Between these two organizations, the LFCL became ground zero for nursing home administrators to hone their trade. I don't mean to get in the weeds here, but my point is that the building I call home became a professional trading destination for nursing home administrators from every corner of the country, and a fair number of countries across the world, from 2010 until the pandemic in 2020. Over the decade, I gave hundreds of tours of the ALS Residence to over 1,000 compassionate people I hope to inspire. I cannot believe that with so much exposure, that no one asked how they could follow our lead. Our only success was because of the amazing Steve Gleason. Since no one else was stepping up, Barry agreed to expand within the LFCL. In 2016, the Dapper McDonald ALS Residence opened. In 2020, the Stein Suite of the Weiner and Torf ALS Residences opened, and earlier this year, we opened the Berman ALS Residence. Right now, there are over 30 people with ALS living in 5 independent houses in the LFCL, more PALs, under one roof than anywhere in the world. Barry exemplifies the saying, if you want something done right, do it yourself. We may be able to double the number of people with ALS in the LFCL, but my dream is to have regional ALS residences across America. Barry will do it if we can find a billionaire mega donor. I like to dream big. Until that happens, I am producing a series of educational videos to train CNAs how to care for people with ALS. I think the horrible state of long-term care in the U.S. is due to ignorance, not a lack of compassion. I hope and expect the video series called The Professional Caregiver's Guide to ALS will improve the lives of countless battles suffering. To all of you researchers out there, keep doing what you are doing, and more power to you. To all of the support organizations, like Team Gleason, the ALS Association, and Compassionate Care ALS, rock on. In the meantime, Barry and I will keep advocating for long-term care options that are highly automated with compassionate and skilled care, even if we have to do it ourselves. If any of you know a generous billionaire who wants to see concrete results from their donation, ask them to check out www.thealsresidences.org. Thank you, and remember, life is good